Hey, what it do, sports world, and welcome to the Real Untouchable podcast with me, Ray Diggs. Man, I got a great segment for you all. This right here is going to be my last segment of the night. Hey, let's talk about the women Final Four is set. And hey, listen, the Elite Eight was historic. We saw South Carolina advance. We saw North Carolina State advance. We saw UConn advance, and we saw Iowa defeat LSU to advance to the Final Four. And those are my Final Four team. Hey, listen, before I get started, hey, make sure y'all get the like button, the subscribe button, and also the share button. All right. And listen, let me make sure y'all give me your feedback on what you all think about this segment. Hey, listen, before I get started, hey, make sure y'all be safe out there, y'all. This right here has been crazy. There's crazy things going on. Don't drink and drive. Hey, don't do drugs. All right, y'all know what I like to start by saying. But let's go ahead and jump into this thing. Hey, the women's Final Four is set, and it was a historic Elite Eight. South Carolina versus North Carolina. South Carolina versus North Carolina State. You got UConn versus Iowa. I think this right here is dream matchup, y'all. When I look at the spread, North Carolina State versus South Carolina, I'm gonna start with that game first. North Carolina State is coming into this game 31-6. South Carolina is coming in at 36-0. They're the only undefeated team in all major sports with anybody. So Don Staley is back in the Final Four again. Can she finally get another national championship? I think that, like I said, when I look at this game, North Carolina State versus South Carolina, I just think that South Carolina is the better team overall. I think they're loaded. They got Cordosia, they got players all over this, and I think Cordosia is going to be honestly the key factor in this game right here. I will give you all my prediction later on in the week, but South Carolina, it's going to be hard to beat this South Carolina team. It's going to be hard to beat them. They've defeated everybody all season. They're 36-0. Right now, they are 11.5 point favorite going into this game. That. I don't even lie. That's a big spread. And like I said, North Carolina State, they weren't supposed to be here. A lot of people didn't expect them to get here. But now that they're here, this team right here is really, really good as well. A lot of people is underestimating this team. They've defeated, and if you look back at this team, I think that earlier this in March they lost to Notre Dame, but they've been on a really, really good winning streak. And then when I look back at this team earlier in the year, this team right here was really, really beating some really good teams, North Carolina State. So can they come in? It's one game. It's one game, and who can play their best for one game? And I'm gonna tell y'all why this game right here could easily be an upset. Because we saw Iowa last season against South Carolina. South Carolina clearly was the better team last season against Iowa. But Iowa found a way to win the game. Same thing with this game right here. North Carolina State can find a way to win this game. Will they win? I ain't going that far. But can they win? Yes, they can win this game. This right here is going to be, I think this right here is going to be a closer game than people think. And when you look back at it, like South Carolina had a couple close games. Well, they had LSU a close game, which was 79-72. The Oregon State game was close at first until they went on their run and ended up winning by 12. But the Indiana game, that game right there was very close. That right there, even though they was up by, I think, like 15, 20 points, but they ended up winning that game by 4 points. And that what Don Staley was saying. Don Staley was worried about her team giving up leads like that. And like I said, this right here is one game. Who can play their best for one game? And I just think that this right here is a hell of a matchup. North Carolina State versus South Carolina. This right here is going to be and it's going to be the winner going to get to the national championship. Can South Carolina get back to another national championship? And I'm gonna say this right here before I move on to the second game. If South Carolina gets to the national championship, right, and they can win it all, this right here would be one of the best jobs that I've ever seen a coach do. And this is the reason why. South Carolina lost so many starters from last year's team. And to go undefeated again and get back here and win it all, hey, you got to applaud. You just got to applaud Don Staley. And everybody that know me know at first, I wasn't a big Don Staley fan. But she's grown on me. She's grown on me lately. Because she has got this team ready, prepared, to They don't do all the taunting. They don't do all the talking. And that's and honestly, that's the difference between Don Staley and Kim Mulkey. That's just what I tell people. I'm like, when you look at these two coaches, right? And it got nothing to do with race. I'm throwing race out of it. It ain't got nothing to do with race for me. Gino Ariano is my favorite coach, and he's a white man. So when I look at Kim Mulkey and I look at Don Staley, I look at their teams. South Carolina is way more like they're more like professional than LSU and Baylor. When you look at Baylor, how Kim Mulkey's Baylor team was, when you look at South Carolina, they blow you out. But besides the LSU stuff, the little stuff up where they had, did the little stuff, the fighting and everything, Cordoza pushing Fly J down. This team right here doesn't really get, have these type of situations often. This South Carolina team, when they come in and play, they beat you down, and then they just leave. They just go. They don't come in out here. They got to taunt you on TikTok. They got to taunt you on all of this, all these social media sites, and that is really from Don Staley. Don Staley pretty much let her team know, if you win a lot, why do you need the taunt after every win? If you used to win, winning, this shit right here becomes secondhand. Like, I expected to win, so what I'm gonna come out here and taunt you for? That's why same thing I was saying about LSU against UCLA. I said, why taunt you at UCLA if you know you was expected to win? You was the favorite. So why? Like, what I'm saying? In UCLA, I think they was a higher seed. They was like a 2 seed or 1 seed or whatever they was. They maybe a 2 seed. I don't know what they was. But they was like, I think it was like maybe a 2 seed, maybe. I don't know. But LSU was clearly a better team. So why you taunt a team when you know that you should beat this team? But hey, let's go ahead and jump into the second game, man. I want to talk about my UConn Huskies versus the Iowa Hawkeyes. This right here is going to be a hell of a game. We got Paige Beckers from UConn. We got Kaylin Clark from Iowa. This right here is going to be a hell of a game right here between two really, really great players. Right now, Iowa is a 2.5 point favorite in this game. This game right here. Both of these games will be Friday. Make sure y'all tune in. But both of these games will be Friday. And right now, they have UConn. Honestly, when you look at the ESPN analytics, they have UConn as the favorite to win the game. They got a 60% chance to win the game, while Iowa have a 39.4% chance of winning. And when you look back at both of these teams has been really, really good. Like I said, UConn pretty much ran through the AAC. They was undefeated. I think they was like 18-0. Iowa, they've been on the roll all season, rolling through everything, rolling through the Big Ten, rolling through the conference, and then rolling through all the way up until this point right here. This right here has been a hell of a team. They've been really consistent all year. And like I said in the last, I think a couple segments ago, this Iowa team is more focused than I've seen a lot of teams. Like I said, when I talk about LSU, they had a lot of drama going around this team early in the season, and I honestly think that right there is, it maybe they got it right, but when you have drama, it can throw everything off, especially when you're winning. I honestly think that this Iowa team loves playing with each other. I just don't get the same type of, I don't get that vibe from LSU. I hear what they say. I hear them talking in the press conference, but I think Iowa honestly love playing with each other. I think Kaylin Clark love her teammates. Same thing with Paige Beckers. I think that Paige Beckers love playing at UConn. When you look at UConn, right? UConn come in at 33-5, and like I said, they are a 3 seed. Iowa coming in at 33-4. They are a 1 seed. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what the committee did this season with these rankings. I just don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking things, but I know that UConn should at least be a 2 seed, if not a 1 seed. But Iowa is the 1 seed. UConn is the 3 seed. They're gonna go at it Friday night for a chance to go to the national championship game. And these two teams right here, like I said, South Carolina is the favorite to win it all. But these two teams right here are the most. These two teams, one of these two teams right here is going to get there, and I just think that they can upset South Carolina. Now, if Iowa get there and South Carolina get there, then I know that South Carolina want their leg back. Same thing I said about Caitlin Clark wanting her leg back from Angel Reese. South Carolina want their leg back from last season against Iowa. And that's if Iowa did win and South Carolina did win, that would probably push me over there to Iowa. I mean, over there to South Carolina, because I think that they want revenge on Iowa so bad. But like I said, if UConn get there, it's gonna be a hell of a game. Don Staley versus Gino Ariana. That's right there. It's two legendary coaches going head to head for another national championship. And like I said, same thing I said about Don Staley, the same thing I'm gonna say about Gino Ariana. If Gino Ariana can get to the national championship and win it, it would be his 12th national championship. Not push that to the side. This right here will be one of his best jobs that he's done that I can remember. And I'm gonna tell you all why. Y'all know I'm gonna tell you why. But the reason why is because UConn has had injuries to DeBerry, a 6'6" forward. She's out for the season. Ozzie Fudd, she is a 5'11" guard. She's one of their best shooters. Besides Paige Beckers, she is the best shooter besides Paige. And a lot of people compare her to a younger version of Steph Curry before the injury. If you all know about Ozzie Fudd has had, like, I think this right here might be either her second or third ACL injury. So she's been very injury prone since she's been at the University of UConn. And even in high school. I think her senior year, I think she tore her ACL in her senior season as well. Paige Beckers tore her ACL last season. And she missed all of last season. And then she came back this season. And also Aubrey, what's her name? What's her name is? Let me get her name for you. Her name is Aubrey. Because Aubrey Griffin. That's her name. Aubrey Griffin. Amari DeBerry, Aubrey Griffin, and Ozzie Fudd. So Ozzie Fudd is a junior. Griffin, she's a senior. Maybe she come back next season, but I think she's pretty much gone. But Amari DeBerry is a junior, so she will be next. She will be coming back, and that's why I say this right here will be one of the best jobs that Gino Ariana has done. Because if you look at Amari DeBerry, she's 6'6". What can UConn use? UConn can use the height. You know, their biggest player is Aaliyah Edwards, 6'3", or Ice Brady, 6'3". You know, you can use a 6 foot, you know, a 6'6" forward. And also, when you look at Ozzie Fudd, she's the 5'11" junior. She's the best shooter. She's one of the best shooters. Aubrey Griffin, she's 6'1". But I'm gonna talk about. Listen, when I talk about Ozzie Fudd, a lot of people that know me know I love Ozzie Fudd. I think she's one of the best players in all of college. But in 2021, her first year, okay, she averaged 12 points per game. On 12 points per game, she averaged 45% from 3-point range. Well, 43% from 3-point range. She's a 91% free throw shooter. Okay, and in her career, she's basically a 95%, a 93% free throw shooter in her career. She like I said, last season she struggled with injuries. She only played 15 games last season. Her first year she played 25 games. Her second year she played 15 games, and this year she played 2. She was hurt in like the second or third game. Yeah, second game of the season, but she tore her ACL and she's been out ever since then. But even her first game of the season, you know, she had 13 points. Second game, at the time of her injury, she had 9 points. And this is what I'm saying. This is why I say this right here will be one of Gino Ariano's best jobs if he can get to the national championship game and win it. The same thing I said about Don Staley. And I'll say the same thing about Iowa. If Iowa can get to the national championship game and win it, you know, this right here would be a hell of a job for Caitlin Clark, because you overcame a loss last year in the national championship game, and then you got your team back here and you won it, hey, that would be a hell of a story. And a lot of people will put her as the GOAT. Will I put her as my GOAT? I can't put her as my GOAT because my GOAT is always going to be either Maya Moore or Breonna Stewart. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm biased because I'm a UConn fan, but like I said, this right here is going to be it'll be a hell of a thing if UConn could get there with all the injuries that they got, and it would be also a hell of a job by Don Staley if South Carolina could get there, because think about it, they lost almost their whole starting lineup from last season. Same thing with Iowa. Iowa get back after being defeated, and they lost, and they was blown out the court last season in the national championship game against LSU, and they came back and beat LSU. Got to get back. Same thing with North Carolina State. North Carolina State, nobody really expected them to even be here. So for them to get to the national championship game and win it, all four of these teams, head coaches, will be it's gonna be like, oh my God, you have to respect what this team did. And this right here has been one of the greatest. This right has been one of the greatest seasons in women's college basketball. I just hope y'all enjoyed it. And take away from the negative, all the negativeness around LSU and Kim Mulkey. Hey, Kim Mulkey is a hell of a coach. I say that all the time. Do I like the things? Do I like her tactics? I don't. But I love her as a coach. I think she's a hell of a coach. Angel Reese is a hell of a player. Do I think she's a great player? I think she's a really, really good player. But I think that can she be great? It's some things that she needs to work at. Same thing when it comes to Don Staley. Don Staley is a hell of a coach. Gino Ariana, a hell of a coach. Iowa's coach is a hell of a coach. I don't know who North Carolina State, they come in, their coach is very unknown. But listen, how can you be known? How can you get your name on the map? By defeating South Carolina. You defeat South Carolina, you move on to the national championship, and you can win that national championship, and everybody gonna be like, man, y'all remember when North Carolina won the national championship? When people didn't even expect for them to be at the Final Four, nonetheless, they're probably not even the Elite Eight. But hey, y'all let me know what y'all think about this segment, and let me know what y'all think about these Final Four teams, the Elite Eight, how historic it was. I'm pretty sure that it broke numbers. Hey, this right here has been great for women's college basketball. Also, I will be on sometime this week, and we will be discussing the men's college basketball and why I think that this right here have to be one of the most dominant seasons by a team in a very, very, very long time. What UConn is doing right now. UConn has dominated college basketball, and they are the overwhelming favorite to win the men's college basketball national championship. But listen, we'll get into that later on this week. Make sure y'all tune in. Until next time. Hey, listen, like I always tell y'all, make sure y'all don't drink and drive. Make sure y'all be safe out here and seize the opportunity, y'all. Whatever opportunity you get, you got to make sure you seize it. It doesn't matter what it is because you might only get one. Also, don't do drugs. Don't do dumb stuff. Just make sure you all make the right decision. And hey, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button. And let me know what y'all think about this segment. Hey, until next time, y'all have